Good afternoon, all. Thank you for joining us at the Chelsea Sharks team announcement presser ahead of our Currie Cup match against the Vodacom Bulls, taking place tomorrow, the 14th of April, at Hollywood Bets Kings Park. Kickoff is at 3:30. I'm going to first read out the team that has been selected. Thereafter, I will open the floor for questions. At 1, we have Dian Blola, then Dan Euster, Handru Jacobs, Kone Rao, Ranil Hugo, who's captaining the team, Tinatenda Mavasere, Aki Barnard, James Fenter, Bradley Davids at fly half, Fred Zeilinger, Yao Pente, Murray Costa, Josh Jonas, PK Subatler, Navaldo Fleers, Fez Mbata, Kwezi Mona, Kuta Mtunu, Ati Ketani, Mpilo Gumede, Tian Furi, Lionel Cronje, and Z Macabella. I'm now going to open the floor for questions. Marnus, go ahead.
Hi, it's Marnus here, coach. I think actually there's a big match now with the Bulls. I mean, in the past month, actually a lot of things happen over there, and I'm sure that I will see this as an actually must-win match. Coach. The Bulls.
Okay, are you asking if the Bulls see it as a must-win match?
Yes. Yeah. I can think actually that now that I will be hungry for a win and I'm sure that they will win. It means it will be hectic for you guys, coach.
Yeah, Marnus, I think the structure of the Currie Cup is such that you don't get a breather. If we sat here and we spoke about the Pumas last week, Thursday, we'll be saying that they've won 4 in a row. They also want to win to make it 5 in a row. And then next week, you'll be speaking about the Cheetahs who are at home and I don't have the championship to worry about or the Challenge Cup to worry about. So I think every week is a test match. Every week is going to be tough. I'm not even thinking about what the Bulls are doing in their camp. We've got our own stuff to concern ourselves about. But will it be a tough match? 100% you're right, Marnus.
Thank you. Jan, you can go ahead. Jan?
Sorry, Navashni, sorry. I'm on my phone. We got load shedding. I see it just come back on, so I was on my phone. Joey, sorry. Just a follow-up on that. I mean, you say that you're obviously focusing on your stuff. A win is a given. You always play for the win. You need to win. And given the flying start that the Cheetahs and the Pumas had in this competition, it's a bit of a catch-up game for the rest of the guys. Are you just focusing on the process? Or are you guys also getting a bit desperate to not let them get too far ahead?
Yeah, I don't think we've thought that far ahead, Jan. I don't want to do the whole cliche of we following processes. Literally, we just trying to get this group to connect and get cohesion as soon as possible. And we're starting to see more and more of that. I think the typical example is when we went 13 men down last week and we had to play 13 against 15, just how they kept composure, how they stuck to systems, how they overcame that adversity to move forward. What we're focusing on. The more we can tick those boxes, the more the results and where we're lying in the log will look after it. Because if you can look at the back end of the competition, whenever a URC team falls out, that team will be filled up. So there's going to be a lot happening in the second round of the competition. But for now, for us is to keep seeking that cohesion that'll make this team a better team. And we're getting there. We're slowly but surely getting there.
Yeah. From a Currie Cup perspective, a Sharks Currie Cup perspective, I mean, obviously at some stage, you're going to get those players, your URC players back as well. Has there been conversations around how many of those Springboks will come back, or will they, the Springboks, I'm talking about the Springboks, not the URC players, but the Springboks in particular, will they filter also back in, or will they go into a Springbok camp or a Springbok group?
Yes, sorry, Jan. I think it's a great question, and it's probably to be answered by people who get paid a lot more money than me. So we're not privy to that. If they do come back, we'd be excited to have those. But more than that, we're hoping that we don't see those oaks till after the URC final. So that's our desire, is to have the URC team go as far as possible. And then whenever that doesn't happen, then we'll take those guys with open arms. But whether or not they're allowed to play Currie Cup, I'm not sure what the ruling is on that one yet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, just one final one. How close are you, the Currie Cup team, the Sharks, the group that you've got? How close are you to that perfect game that'll take you into the playoffs and a final?
Oh, good question. I think we have pieced it up together. So the first 20 minutes of our game against the Pumas was as close as we've come to a perfect game. So it's about stringing that together. But mainly our second halves is where we've struggled to either maintain the momentum we did in the first half or to finish off games. So I would say our first half performance at the moment are pretty close to where we want to be. It's about just the consistency of seeing if we can get that in the second half of games.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Manas, go ahead.
Yeah, if actually you don't mind me asking, IMC Raal is actually back in the squad. Actually, what happened with that red card? Was it not a red, or actually was he not suspended? Or actually, how is it now working if now someone have a red like him last week, coach?
So what usually happens after an incident like that, there's a referee report that's written in, and then there's a hearing. So at that hearing, we've got to appoint a lawyer who looks at the footage, makes a point, and then writes his submissions to whoever the head of that committee would be. Then we met with them on Wednesday morning. And then after having read our submissions that we put forward, he found that the incident itself was not as grave a nature as what the TMO had called it. And he felt that the decision that was first tried to be made by the referee on field to make it a yellow card was the better sanction for that. So he made that decision. And therefore, the yellow card has been downgraded. I mean, the red card has been downgraded to a yellow card, which allows Coordinate to play for us tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much, coach.
Next question, please. Are there any further questions? If not, thank you, coach, for your time, and thank you, media, for yours. All the best.